I'm well aware that it looks insane up here because I still have the MacBook, that screen, the iMac's back there, and then this screen. But this is what I'm dealing with for today, so I can do the stream. Hello everyone and welcome to Wednesday. As I mentioned yesterday, today I'm doing a really interesting stream that I've never done before, where I'm going to be building an RPG Maker game live. I have no idea how it's going to go. There's some level of concern, but I think it'll be fine because, again, it's super casual. I have only used RPG Maker, if I'm being honest, twice in the last 5 years. 5 years ago when I built that game, when we showed off RPG Maker MV, and then back in September of last year when we went to China and I made one of the vlog days in RPG Maker. So it's not exactly, super fresh, but hopefully it'll come back to me as I start using it. But I'm also not like an RPG Maker power user. I'm just a guy who had experience with it over the years, especially whenever I was in middle and high school. I loved it. So if anyone is expecting, greatness, the expectation should be set lower. But I'm fairly familiar with it. I can get around it pretty well. So I think it'll still be fun, and it'll still be a good stream. The hard part is just getting everything set up, and that goes for any stream I do over here. Any of the first 20 stuff, any Morning Mario. Of course, the streams are harder to set up. There's more equipment involved than Morning Mario. But I'm setting it up now, recording this clip because the camera is also the face cam. So I'm going to get it all where it needs to go, and then I guess the vlog will resume in X many hours when the stream is over, and hopefully it will have gone well. Hopefully.
I'm allergic to hippos. I found out the hard way after spending too much time with my first hippo, Raxi. I'm so sorry to hear that. I once had a hippo. I love this. I can't do this. I have to keep taking breaks. I gotta keep taking breaks. I'm getting so dizzy just trying to read the dialogue. God, it's been a long day. It's been such a long day. Thomas says in the middle of this epic quest, these people are just talking about this is wild. I'm gonna hyperventilate. I need a second.
10 hours. 10 hours. Started at 1, finished at 11. That was a little longer than I thought it would go. A little bit. Because whenever I made the game a few years ago, it took 6 to 7. And I figured it would take longer than that. Because I was like, well, this is going to be different because I'm also going to be interacting with chat. And I knew that it was going to be a little difficult to, take the ideas and work them in. But I was thinking, 8 to 9. I was close. Chaz said he knew. Chaz was like, I knew from the start it would be 10 hours. And I was like, all right. But yeah, 10 hours. So the good news. The good news is we made a game. We did it. We made a game start to finish. There's no bad news. That's just the good news. The good news is we made the game. It was definitely difficult at times because there's a bunch of ideas coming in and you're trying to find spots to put them. And, some people's words were pretty easy to make them work. Other people's were much harder. And, I definitely took liberties occasionally with some of the words, but for the most part, I tried to stick to them. And, there was definitely points where it was hard to do certain things. I would take the time sometimes I would take a lot of time working on a thing, and then other times there was just a lot of words that had been in my list for a while, and I'm like, I am not finding anywhere to put these. So I would do these really bizarre lore dumps where I would talk at length either in an NPC or something you would read, and it would just have this really bizarre message, it would include some of the words that people sent in. But we did get through a game, and by the end, it was playable. I did this a little differently than how I would normally do this if I was doing it not live. If I was not doing it live and I was actually making something, I would test a lot as I went, and I didn't do that. I just tried to be really thorough in the stuff that I was doing the programming for, and trying to make it perfect as best I could, so when we got to the testing phase, it would just be pretty smooth. And honestly, for the most part, it was. There was actually not too many issues, but there was a few. But we got through it. And I think the most important thing is that I laughed harder than any day this year. I laughed so hard. Like, I'm sore from laughing, and probably also sore from talking for 10 hours. I cried multiple times laughing just because the stuff that was written was ridiculous, and by the time we got to the end where we finally were like, all right, everything's set, we're going to actually go through and do a little play test. Oh my God. It was a reminder of stuff that we had written earlier in the day, and to see it all flow together, I was losing my mind. Chat was laughing so hard, and it was just a good day. It was a very, very good day. It was very, very funny. This is the sort of thing that I would not do very often. But would I do it again? Yeah, I totally would. It's a big commitment to stream for 10 hours. But I got to tell you, the day really went by like that. I was so into it, and it was so... I stayed busy that the hours really flew by. And it was enjoyable. It really was. Now, it's not done. It's basically done, but I stopped short of doing, the very, very end. And my plan is, off camera, I'm going to write the very, very end. So basically the last part of the game. And then I'll probably do another test play on my own time just to make sure everything is fine. And then I'll export the game. And my plan is to release a first 20 where I play through the game, similar to how I did 5 years ago with RPG Maker MV. And when I do that, I'll also release this VOD. This 10-hour VOD, which shows the creation of the game start to finish. And then I'll release the game so people can actually play it themselves. And hopefully they'll enjoy it. Hopefully they'll have fun with it. But, man, what a day. What a day. It's a little after 11 now. And I gotta get to bed. Because tomorrow is breakfast stream. It's been a hard 2 weeks because we did extra streams last week with First 20 and Super Mario, and now this week we did our RPG Maker. So it's been busy. Not to mention last week we were busy with a bunch of other things too. But it's been really rewarding lately. It really has. There's more streams in the past few weeks than I've ever done at once. And it's something I really enjoy doing. The big downside for me is that I don't have things permanently set up to do streams on this side of the room, and that's hard because the actual setup is lengthy. Like to move equipment over here and then to run cables and to do all that stuff, that part sucks. But if I had things set up in such a way where it was always just set up and I just hit a button, I would be much more willing to do solo stream type stuff more often, just because it is enjoyable. It's actually really fun. Probably not for 10 hours, but it's fun to do. All right. That's it. I'm done. I had a great one. If you were there and you got to enjoy it live, I feel like you had the best experience. You really did. And I'm going to put this on YouTube, but if you weren't there and you can watch it on Twitch, you don't mind, I'd recommend watching it on Twitch so you have chat also. Chat won't be on screen, obviously, for the YouTube version, so you'll miss out on that. So I think chat was kind of helpful, but you can still watch it and see me making stuff on on the YouTube version. But I think getting a chance to experience the insanity with chat is a really helpful experience in this particular case. And will there be things you don't understand if you don't watch the 10-hour stream? I mean, yeah, but also there's things that don't make sense anyway. So, Excuse me. I sneezed a lot tonight. Alright, seriously, I'm done. I gotta go to bed. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for being here today. It was fun. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?